in the dense emerald depths of the Appalachian Mountains in the United States, where the ancient forest canopy is so thick that sunlight barely filters through. To the forest floor, there stood an old, weathered cabin. Right beside it grew a massive ancient oak tree, its gnarled roots twisting out of the earth like giant serpents, coiled around the soil. Under that very tree lived an elderly man everyone once called Elias Eli Harlan. The old Eli part of his name was just a folksy, titled respectful, nothing more. He wasn't some wandering preacher or mystic. Long ago, he had been a well-known local herbalist and folk healer in the nearby valley town, respected far and wide for his knowledge of roots, leaves, and remedies passed down through generations. But those days were gone. Now no one came looking for him, and he had no one by his side. Occasionally, a line of deer would pass quietly nearby, owls would hoot overhead, or squirrels would raid the fallen acorns and scamper off. That was his entire world. One afternoon, as the sun began to dip and the oak shade grew darker and cooler, old Eli was sitting there, sorting dried ginseng roots, when a voice echoed from the distance. "Is anybody there? Help!" He looked up, startled. The voice came again, more desperate. "Help! Is someone there?" Leaning on his walking stick, he rose on trembling legs and walked slowly toward the sound. A short distance away, he saw a young woman sitting on the mossy ground, clutching her ankle. Her face was tired from the sun, her clothes a little dirty. But there was something refined about the way she carried herself. "What happened, darling?" Eli asked gently. The girl showed him her foot with an exaggerated wince. "I fell while walking. It hurts a lot." Eli bent down to examine it. Years of experience told him immediately nothing was wrong. He smiled softly. "Ain't no sprain, child. Just tiredness, probably." The girl lowered her head. "I'm sorry. The truth is, I'm all alone. You looked like a kind person, so I thought I'd talk to you. Otherwise, I was going to keep wandering." Ellie nodded. "This here's the deep woods. You meet more critters than folks. How'd you even get out this far?" She stayed quiet. Eli gestured toward the cabin. "Come on. My place is close. You can sit a spell, get some water." They walked back together. Eli noticed something. Odd, her steps weren't limping anymore. There was a calm, almost calculated steadiness in her gait. He glanced at her sideways. "You don't seem scared. Not even a little nervous about being in these woods." She answered quietly, "I don't feel fear about anything anymore." He didn't press further. When they reached the cabin, he poured her water from the old tin dipper by the rain barrel. She asked, "You live here all alone?" Eli shrugged. "Got used to it. When loneliness gets old enough, it starts feeling more peaceful than the racket of town." She smiled faintly. "And what if someone steps into that peace?" Eli ignored the question. Evening had deepened. He said, "If you want to head back, the trail be rough now. Stay the night." Without hesitation, she nodded. "I'll sleep under the oak. The breeze feels nice." Eli laid out his old quilt inside. "Fine. I'll sleep outside. You can take the cabin if you want." But she chose to lie outside anyway. Night grew deep. Crickets sang, leaves rustled. Silence swallowed everything. Eli drifted off, but the girl didn't sleep. She sat up, watching him breathe. Her face calm, steady, almost waiting. No fear, no anxiety, just patient, long-held anticipation. She whispered to herself, "It took so many years to reach here. Will he even recognize me?" The oak roots glistened with dew. Under the moonlight, the night felt alive. On the quilt, The old man slept in another world perhaps, dreaming of old days, lost voices. A few steps away, Joy sat in the tree's shadow, listening to his steady breathing. His face looked exactly like she remembered. But how could he know her after all these years? Her fingers slowly traced something in the soil, a name, an unfinished recognition. Then Eli shifted, waking up. Still dark, he muttered. Cole keeps sleep away these days. His eyes fell on her. She was sitting quietly, awake. You're not sleepin' yet? She answered as if she'd been waiting for the question. Sometimes staying awake brings more peace than sleep. Eli, he moved closer and sat beside her. Strange thing, a young gal like you, in a place like this, no fear, no panic. No one's cumin to look for you, are they? Joy looked down. There's no one left to look. Eli fell silent. A little later, he got up and lit the small Castillon stove near the cabin. He boiled some wild roots and heated water in an old kettle. Joy came and sat nearby, helping quietly. What's your name? He asked. Joy. Joy, where are you from? From a little town just on the other side of the ridge. But no one's left there for me now. Eli noticed how she always answered half like she was weaving a story, even when telling the truth. Morning light began filtering through the branches. Joy helped him with small chores, fetching water from the spring, gathering kindling, cleaning leaves. Eli watched her. No one had shown him this kind of quiet care in years. His eyes clouded. When a place breaks your heart, you lose the courage to step there again. There used to be so many folks. Now, I doubt anyone even remembers my name. But didn't anyone ever come looking for you? He stayed quiet a long time, staring at a branch of the oak. The one person I should fear? Gone after. She left one day without a word. Maybe forever. Joy went still. She glanced toward the cabin, like some old shadow clung to its walls. Did you build this cabin yourself, Eli? Yes. Many years ago, with someone. He stopped himself abruptly. Now there's no one. Joy wanted to speak, but held back. Afternoon passed. She disappeared down a faint trail behind the cabin and returned with 2 ripe apples. Where'd you get these so quick? There's a tree back there. Real sweet ones. Eli smiled. Long ago, a girl used to bring me apples like this. He caught himself. Now only memories remain. She handed him one and ate the other. On the peel, she absent-mindedly scratched something with her nail, then quickly rubbed it away. Eli noticed, but said nothing. As evening fell and the air turned cool, Joy, said Eli, tonight I want to show you something. There's a place in the woods, a small tent-like shelter made of canvas. Will you come with me? Eli hesitated. A canvas shelter deep in the forest? I go there every day since I arrived. Sitting there brings back memories. Please, come. After a moment, he agreed. All right. Let's eat first, then go. They had a simple supper: boiled roots, apples, water. Then Joy lit a lantern, and they walked into the dark woods. Eli's breathing grew heavier. The path was unfamiliar, but Joy moved with ease. After a while, they reached a clearing. There stood an old canvas shelter, its fabric flapping gently in the breeze. Eli slowed. Something felt intensely familiar: the shape, the smell, the feel of the place. I've seen this before, but where? Joy stood outside. She didn't lift the flap. Come inside. Ela stepped back. No, let it be. This place feels heavy. She didn't insist. Okay, Eli, let's go back. They returned silently to the oak tree. That night, sleep stayed far from both of them. Eli lay with half-open eyes, watching her calm face. Why does this girl feel so familiar? Under the oak, the night was deep and quiet. Moonlight faded. Long shadows crept across the ground. Eli tossed and turned. Joy lay nearby, eyes open, breathing steady. Morning came heavy with silence. Joy was cleaning near the cabin when Eli suddenly asked, "Your name is Joy, right?" "Yes, Eli. Do you know what your name means?" She turned. "Yes, it means full of happiness." Eli's voice dropped. Someone used to call that name with so much love. I still hear it in my ears. Joy paused. "Would you like to tell me who she was?" His eyes filled. "A long time ago, I had a little daughter. Stubborn, feisty, but the light of my life. My whole world was her. Then she grew up. Her world changed. She left with someone I didn't trust without telling me. That broke me." His voice cracked. "I left the house, left the town. Now only this cabin and these woods remain." Joy's throat tightened. She knew exactly what he was talking about, but she stayed silent. Eli asked softly, "Do you have parents, Joy?" Her body trembled slightly. "I did, but not anymore. There was a distance with my father." She looked away quickly. Eli was quiet. Then he went inside and came back with an old tin box. Inside was a faded wooden piece with a carved name. "Joy, my daughter, made this. She hung it in the corner of our old house. When she left, I burned everything. Kept only this." Joy's eyes brimmed with tears, but she held them back. "Eli, why don't you go to that canvas shelter anymore? Because everything there reminds me of what I want to forget. Sometimes seeing those things lets us forgive, even ourselves." Eli couldn't speak. Afternoon came. They sat under the oak. Joy began writing something on an old notepad. Simple verses her mama had taught her. Eli stared. "You know them old sayings and poems?" "A little." "A little?" "My mama taught me." He remembered his daughter used to write verses in exactly the same hand. Doubt crept in. Who is this girl, really? That night, Joy said, "Eli, if I tell you something, will you be afraid? What's left to fear now, child?" She smiled. "Tomorrow morning, please come with me to that canvas shelter one more time. I want to show you something. After that, I'll go wherever you say." Eli felt uneasy, but her eyes held a quiet, heartfelt plea. "All right," he said. Neither slept. Morning arrived peacefully. Joy had cleaned everything. She made a garland of wildflowers and called him under the oak. "Shall we go?" He looked into her eyes. Something ancient and familiar lived there. They walked again. The canvas shelter waited, quieter than before. This time, Joy lifted the flap. "Come inside." Eli stepped in with shaking hands. On the ground lay two things: an old wooden toy he had carved himself for his little girl long ago, and on the wall, scratched deeply into the canvas, a name. His throat went dry. That name, Joy, Joy. She stood before him. "Eli, now you understand." Her voice trembled, lips dry, heart storming. Eli stared. Then the memory crashed over him, the same voice from years ago. "Daddy, look, I wrote your name and mine. The same shelter, the same earth, the same daughter." He whispered, hoarse, "You're my joy, my daughter." She couldn't hold back anymore. She ran and fell at his feet. "Yes, Daddy, I'm the same foolish, stubborn, deeply regretful daughter." He lifted her with trembling hands, tears streaming endlessly. "You're alive. All these years, you were right here." She clung to his chest. When you sent me away, the man I left everything for abandoned me after 4 days. I came back, but the house was empty. The neighbors said you'd left searching for me, left everything behind. That day I swore he would live where you last came. Maybe one day you'd return and forgive me. Eli's pain poured out. The daughter he thought he'd lost forever stood before him. Child, if you'd just told me, I would have held you close that very day. Joy kept crying. I didn't have the courage. Daddy, I thought you'd forgotten me. He held her face. You're my daughter. Daughters aren't things you forget. Never. They sat like that for a long time, as if time, earth, and the world had stopped. In the days that followed, Eli and Joy cleaned and repaired the cabin together. Old verses appeared again on scraps of paper tacked to the walls. Joy made herbal teas for him every day, and Eli started going into the woods again to gather medicinal plants. One evening, as the sun hid behind the ridges, Joy asked quietly, Daddy, can I come back home with you? He was silent for a moment. Then he smiled. Home is wherever you are now. Whether it's this cabin or a big house, if my daughter's with me, that's home. A few months later, word spread through the nearby hollows. Again, old Eli the healer and his daughter were back. Together, they treated folks with herbs and roots. The little cabin became known as Joy's Place, a spot where every hurting soul found comfort and belonging. One night, sitting beside him, Joy asked softly, Daddy, did you ever forgive me? He took her hand. You're my daughter. You always had a place in my heart. You still do. You always will. There's no question of forgiveness because I never stopped loving you.